Hello, today we are going to learn about the application and the assistant packages. We will go through each node and their properties and learn where and when to use these nodes. So let's start with the application package. Application package is used by the bot console and the applications your bot is connected to. You need an application robot to use these nodes. Your bot may be a headless bot like this one that is started manually and generates a file at the end. If your bot is connected to an application like this one here, you can open the app from this button. And then you can interact with your robot. RoboMotion can run multiple sequences at the same time. So if you open another tab, you can interact with the robot, and all of these sessions are separate from each other and all are handled by a single application robot. So let's continue with the app in and app out nodes. These nodes are actually similar to HTTP in and HTTP out nodes. The flow will be triggered by an external client like an HTTP in node. In this case, it will be triggered by bot console or the application. So whenever you start a headless bot from here, the app in node is triggered. Or when you open app from here, the app in node will be triggered again. This is not the only case. Currently, we only support Flutter applications. This is an advanced topic that we will not cover here, but let's understand that your application and your bot can communicate together with this package. So in your application, there may be a case like clicking a button and you can interact with the bot or request something from the bot with that button click by using this app in node, and the bot can process something and return the result to you with app out node. The app push and app request nodes will not be used much if you don't have an application. App push can be used to push data to the application while your flow is running. So this may be used for notifying the application if something finished or maybe an error received from somewhere, and the app can display this message. The app request is used again from the bot to request something from the application. So app in is opposite one. The application is requesting something from the bot. The app request is used to request something from the application by the bot itself. As I said, these will not be used much if you don't have your own application. The app download is used for downloading a file that is uploaded by the application UI. The app upload is used for uploading a file from the bot to the storage, and the application may read this file later. The application log is used for sending logging messages to the application. Now let's continue with the assistant package. We are just doing a quick intro of these nodes, and then we will see how to use these nodes in a flow. The button group node is used to display multiple buttons in the assistant window. You may ask from the user to click one of the buttons, and you may act after that with a switch node to do different things and return the result to the user. The change theme node is used to personalize the assistant interface. You can change the colors here, the background, the bubble colors, and you can personalize the assistant interface. The checkboxes is used to display multiple checkboxes, and the user can click one of them and you can process after that. The date picker is used to pick a date. You can also provide the initial date, the valid first date and last date. The divider node is just a simple horizontal line that separates the previous interaction. The drop down is like checkboxes. It displays multiple text in a drop down menu and the user can select one of them. End conversation is used to end the conversation. When you start interacting with the robot, when you enter something here, the robot will process that and then will show a progress while processing it. Like this one, if I enter something here, you will see the loading progress here. And if you don't want to see that, if the interaction has finished, you can use the end conversation node and the conversation will finish. The file node is used to get a file from the user. This will show an upload region in the assistant application. The user can click on that region and select a file to upload or drag and drop a file to that region, and then you can use app download to download that file. The header is special. This is the section shown at the beginning of the assistant conversation. It is not used here, but it is a separate formatted text that you can use centered, left or right aligned when your conversation starts. The image is used to show an image in your assistant. For example, these are images that we show in this flow. Radio button is similar to checkboxes and drop down. It shows radio buttons and the user can pick one of them. Text is used to display text in the dialog. So here these are text. You can use markdown like this one here, and you can use emojis, Unicode also. If you select the markdown option here, and the text box finally is used to get some input from the user. So like this one, this is a text box. The important option to understand here is the timeout option. So when you display a text box, the bot will wait an answer from the user, but it has a timeout. The default timeout is 30 seconds. After this will generate an exception. You have to handle that exception. Similar to text box, the text node doesn't require a response from the user, but this also has a timeout. This is important to understand because this text may not reach to the application if the user closes these tabs. So the text will never be rendered, and then the bot will time out also for this one. So you need to catch the exceptions of both the text node or the nodes that waits a response from the user. So these are the nodes that are used to create assistant bots. So now we can create a sample flow to use these nodes. We can start creating a simple flow that takes the screenshots of a website, and then we can turn that into an assistant pod. Let's start by adding the inject node here, and let's rename this to start. We will open an Excel. We will read the website URLs from here, and we will read all the Excel with get range node. And now we need an Excel file. Let's create one here. The first column will have the URL of the website, like walmart.com and walmart.com and cnn.com. And the second column, let's call it name, and we will write the file name, screenshot file name here to make things easier. Let's call this CNN PNG. And now the file is ready. Let's save it. And we will open this file. Sites XLSX. That is correct. And after get range, we should check these options. The headers is for because we have the first row as the header of the Excel file. The second option, JSONify, is lowercasing the column name and then replacing the spaces with dashes. And after this, we need an open browser node. And now the browser is opened. We can use for each node here. We will iterate all the rows with for each. The output of getRange is message.table, and we will loop through message.table.rows. And the current item, let's name it message row. After for each finishes, we should call stop. And after for each, we can open the URL. The URL comes from the Excel file, so it is message.row.url. After that, we need the screenshot node here, and we need the full path. We need to provide the full path of the file, but the Excel file only has the file name. So let's use JavaScript string interpolation here. Let's provide the full path like this, and then get the message row dot name like this. Now this creates the full file path for the screenshot node, and after that we need to go back to the beginning of the for each node. We can use a go to here and put a label here, and then we can click this label, and now we are ready to start. Let's run this flow. The robot is installed on my machine. The flow started. It opened the browser, and now we are waiting. The Walmart it loads all the page and takes the screenshot. The robot takes the screenshot. Now we are waiting for cnn.com to load, and now the flow finished. If we check the projects folder, we can see the screenshots here. Now we are ready to turn this flow into an assistant pod. Now to do that, we can start playing with the app in node here. We don't need the inject node anymore. Let's add a debug after here and save this, and then create a version for this, and let's publish this. After that, we can go to the admin console, bot screen here, and add a new bot. We have to uncheck the headless bot because we are using the RoboMotion application repository. We only have the assistant application. We can use that. Let's rename the screenshot grabber. Takes screenshots from websites. Select this flow and pick the V2. Create. Now, when we go to the robot screen, we only have two application robots, and when you go back to bot console, we will see that screenshot grabber bot has been added, and now we need to create an instance of this bot. After that, when you go back to the robot screen, you will see the third application robot is added. Every instance creation adds another application robot. You need to have the number of licenses to create more instances. If you only have 3 application robot licenses, you won't be able to add another instance, but you can delete the instance and create another instance from another bot. Now, after that, we can start the robot. Let's sign out and sign in again. Now we can see the application robot here. Let's connect this one and return back to the flow designer. So only the application robot can only run the flow that is assigned from the admin console. The application robot cannot run another flow. Only this flow can be run on the application robot. Now we can start this flow. Select the application robot here, run this, and when you go back to bot console, you will see that the instance is running because we have started the instance from here, but app-in node is not triggered yet. Now let's open the assistant app and we will see that it is triggered. The message in object doesn't have anything useful for this flow, but if you have a setup like this Slack channel user extractor we showed in the previous video, if you have a setup for your bot, these parameters will come from the app-in node and you can use these parameters in the flow. For the assistant, we don't need that, so we don't have that, so we can only use the app-in node, just like an inject node. It will start the flow, and after that, let's use the assistant text node here to show a welcome message, and let's use this. And after that, let's use the file node to get the Excel file from the assistant to the application robot flow running here, and let's put a debug node here to see what will come. Let's start this again. Now we can refresh this screen, and as you can see, we got the welcome message here. Now we are expecting a file here. You can also filter the files. This currently accepts all file types. If you put an XLSX here, it will accept the XLSX files. Now let's put the sites XLSX here and see what happens. So yeah, the request timed out. Let's try this again. We need 30 seconds. The default timeout is 30 seconds. Let's run this again. Now I will drag and drop the file here. As you can see, the assistant returned to bot and we are waiting the response from the bot currently. But we only have the debug here, so the flow does not continue. And when you check the message object here, we have the message payload file 1. This is an array because we can upload multiple files. you can change the ID here, but we have the file name. Now we need to download this file. We can use the app in the application packages app download node here. Let's connect this, and the file name is the remote file name, so it is message payload file 1, the first element of this array, message.payload.file1. And to download the file we need a folder, because we could have multiple files, so we need to give the path for this projects folder, or let's actually create another folder here. I created a download folder here because we already have the sites x86 here. Let's download the file under the downloads folder, and let's change the name to downloads. Actually it is download. Now we are ready. After that we will have the file path, full file path, and we can use that file path in here. The flow should continue as before after this, and we will update the flow according to the assistant. Now let's try this again. Let's run this and we can refresh the assistant flow here. Again, the folder is empty currently. We will upload this, and let's check the download folder. As you can see, it is downloaded. The flow is started. It is taking the screenshots of the websites. And let's see what happened here. Let's check the robot logs. I think we haven't selected the label here. Maybe we have unchecked it, but the flow is working. Now what we need is, after taking the screenshots, we can upload these screenshots and show them in the assistant bot. So after each screenshot node, we can upload the file, the screenshot file with app upload, and we have the name here. I don't think we have JavaScript here, so we can just add a function node here to create that file path. And let's get this and call this screenshot path and fill this here, message screenshot path. Now we can use this in the app upload node also, and we can click this public checkbox here to make this file reachable, to make it publicly available to everyone. And after that we have the public URL. Now we can return this public URL to the assistant with the text again. But now we can actually add another function here to create a markdown URL, or we can show the URL and also show the image That would be nice. Let's create the text here. Again, JavaScript interpolation. Let's use. Here is the screenshot, and we will use Markdown, and we can use this as a template. Now we can use the file name here, message.row.name, and the URL will be message public URL. This should work. Now we have the Markdown ready, and we can use the text node here to return the text, but we should tell this is a Markdown. And after that, we can also use the image node to show the image also, and we can again use the message public URL to see the image left aligned. Let's show it small, and let's go to here. After the for each ends, we can end the conversation. Use the app out node here. Actually, we don't need it. You don't need to stop, just end the conversation, and that will be enough. Now let's stop this and run this again. Now we can refresh, and let's drop the file here. The flow is triggered. Walmart screenshot, I think, has been taken. Let's check. App upload media failed. Invalid application message. This is actually wrong. It should be message screenshot. Let's stop and run this again. Refresh, and start again. Yeah, this time it worked. Let's check the assistant also. Yeah, you can see the image here, the URL, public URL here. The CNN site hasn't been uploaded. Now it is also loaded, and the bot takes the screenshot and returns the results to the assistant here. We haven't used the closed browser, that's why the browsers are left opened. Now we can also use these links to download the image. Yes, here they are. So this is a nice example to show how assistant nodes work. So thank you for watching.